Welcome to the 2018 edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. We are in the quarterfinals. This is also the money zone, sponsored by GCB Bank. What that means is that each point earned is worth 5 Ghana cedis. Contestants, 3 contestants and 1 teacher from each school is going to earn this amount of money. Isn't that nice? Very nice. All right. Anyway, this is the penultimate quarterfinal contest, and it's going to feature St. Margaret Mary Senior High School, Holy Child School, and Krobo Girls Senior High School. Let's meet the contestants. St. Margaret Mary Senior High School is represented by
Abigail Ashley, final year.
I said in my final year.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Wonderful. We are in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
What does that feel like?
We are happy to be here.
Happy?
Yes.
How about your level of excitement?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
in the excited state.
That's great. Good to know that you've left the ground state.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. What are we expecting this contest?
Okay. All our hope in God is founded. So that is what you should expect.
All right. Best wishes to you.
Thank
Krobo Girls Senior High School. Krobo Girls Senior High School is represented by
Obin Opokwa Ajima in my final year. Harriet Fiago, final year.
You're welcome, ladies.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
We are
Yeah,
fine.
good, by God's grace.
Wonderful. Quarterfinals. What does that mean to you?
I know it's the greatest feeling we've ever had in our life.
Really, already? Well, that's good to know. And so this contest, what shall we expect?
Okay, we will do our best and we know God will do the rest.
All right, best wishes to you. Holy Child School. Holy Child School is represented by
Kezia Peko Form 3.
Akosiatima Ochre Aqua Form 3.
You're welcome, ladies. How are you doing?
Very fine.
Wonderful. What does the quarterfinal mean to you?
A whole lot.
A whole lot, like
We can't actually describe how much this means to us.
undescribable. All right. And so the contest, what to expect?
By the grace of God, we are going far. Expect the best, and we know by the grace of God, we are going to progress to the next level.
All right. Best wishes to you. So we've met the contestants. For a change, we have how many young ladies? 5 young ladies and 1 gentleman. It's normally the other way around. Anyway, should be an interesting contest. Before I sit down, I would like to acknowledge that the National Science and Math Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service through the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. We also have support from GCB Bank, Accra College of Medicine, Medifem Multi-Specialist Hospital and Fertility Center, Lancaster University, Ghana, Academic City College, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, WACBIB, Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, MFA Jewelry, and Hottie Makeup. The mentorship sessions are sponsored by Bond Savings and Loans and RMG Ghana, and SciTech Fair 2018 was sponsored by GOIL, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, and Talo Ghana Limited. Our media sponsors are City FM and Joy News. This is a primetime production. My name is Elsie Fakofman. I'm your quiz mistress. Contestants, the contest comes to you in 5 rounds. The first round is a round for fundamental concepts. The questions are simple and direct. I'm expecting simple and direct answers from you. If you answer your major question correctly, 3 points. If the question is incorrectly answered, it becomes available to the 2 other schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If right, a bonus point. If it's wrong, there's a penalty, 1 point. For questions that require calculations, you have a maximum of 30 seconds to present your answer. If there are no calculations, you have 10 seconds. All questions are to be attempted once only. Best wishes to all 3 schools. First set of questions will require about 30 seconds of time. I have a preamble to all schools, after which I'll come to you, Krobo girls. The preamble. Find the equation of the tangent to the given curve at the point on the curve with the given x value. I hope you got your preamble. All right. So, Krobo girls, y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3 at the point with x is equal to 1. Yes, Jemima.
The equation of the tangent is y is equal to 2 minus 2x.
Yes. With the same preamble, say Margaret Mary. Y is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 2 at the point where x is equal to 0. Mark.
Y plus 6x minus 2 is equal to 0.
Yes. Holy Child, with the same preamble. Y is equal to the expression 3x minus 2 all squared at the point with x is equal to 1. Yes, Akosia.
We have the equation of the tangent to be y is equal to 6x minus 5.
Yes. Next set, 10 seconds. Krobo girls, which hormone causes dilation of blood vessels, increased oxygen consumption, and glycogenesis? Harriet.
Madam, please, we have the aldosterone.
No, that's incorrect for a bonus. Yes, Akosia.
Glucagon.
No. So say Margaret Mary. Which hormone is needed most during emergency situations? Yes, Mark?
Adrenaline.
You're right. Holy Child. Toxic agents present in food which interfere with thyroxine synthesis lead to the development of what condition? Yes, Akosia?
Goiter.
Yes. 10 seconds. Krobo girls, name any 3 types of fossil fuel. Yes, Harriet.
Madam, please, we have organic compounds like methane. We have natural gas, and we have NH3.
1. The 1 is for the natural gas. Say Margaret Mary, Coke is not a natural product like coal or petroleum. How is Coke obtained? Yes, Abigail.
Since coke contains only carbon, we can obtain it from graphite.
No, that's incorrect for a bonus. This is one of the dangerous questions. I was afraid of what answer I was going to get. Get answers like Coca-Cola comes from the Coke factory. Anyway, all right. Holy Child, what is charcoal? Yes, Kezia.
Charcoal is a carbon compound obtained from burning wood.
No, I can't accept that. For a bonus. Oh, is the black stuff that the people sell in the market? No, that's not the formal answer. Next set, 30 seconds with a short preamble. Well, with a preamble, 30 seconds. Given f of x is equal to 2x minus 3 and g of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 2, evaluate. Krobo girls, f of g of 2. Jemima.
F of g of 2 is equal to negative 3.
Yes. Say Margaret Mary, g of f of 2. Abigail.
0.
Yes. F of g of 3. Yes, Kezia?
1.
Yes. 10 seconds. One of the postulates of the kinetic theory states that gaseous particles move in straight lines in all directions at various speeds. What is the major implication of this on the behavior of gases? Yes, Harriet?
Random motion. Madam, please, this means that if they move in random motion, that means that they collide with themselves. They collide with themselves to produce reactions. That they move randomly in constant random motion.
No, for bonus. All right. The implication on the behavior of gases is that the pressure of a gas in a container is uniform throughout the volume since the gaseous particles are moving in all directions. All right. Say Margaret Mary. Another postulate of the kinetic theory states that when gaseous particles collide with one another, the collisions are elastic. How is this manifested in the behavior of gases? Yes, Abigail.
Their kinetic energy is maintained, is conserved, and yes.
And so, okay, I'll give you one. All right, Holy Child School. Another postulate of the kinetic theory states that the forces of attraction or repulsion between two gaseous particles are negligible except when they collide. How is this shown in the behavior of gases? Yes, Kezia.
The pressure is constant, and so the force of attraction between them is negligible unless they come together, unless they collide.
Can't accept that for a bonus. So if the forces were great, the gaseous particles will not be able to move in straight lines and speeds will alter, you see. So the pressure of the gas will diminish even if its temperature is kept constant. That's what would happen. The first few energy levels of a trapped charged particle are 0.040 electron volts, 0.16 electron volts, 0.36 electron volts, 0.64 electron volts, and 1.0 electron volts. All right, so now your question, Krobo girls. Find the energy of the photon emitted when the particle makes a transition from the second excited state to the ground state. Yes, Jemima?
You have 0.32 electron volts.
You're right. With the same preamble, find the energy of the photon emitted when the particle makes a transition from the second excited state to the first excited state. Yes, Abigail?
0.36 electron volts.
That's incorrect. Yes, Harriet?
We have 0.20 electron volts.
Yes. With the same preamble, find the energy of the photon the particle absorbs when it makes a transition from the first excited state to the fourth excited state. Yes, Akosia?
Negative 0.84 electron volts, or the energy absorbed is 0.84 electron volts.
Okay. Preamble to all schools. A circle has a radius of length 20 centimeters. Find the distance from the center to a chord of length. All right, so 24 centimeters. Yes, Jemima?
You have 25 centimeters.
That's incorrect. For bonus. The right answer is 16 centimeters. With the same preamble, St. Margaret Mary, 30 centimeters. Abigail.
Madam, 15 centimeters.
That's incorrect. For bonus, the right answer is 5√7 centimeters with the same preamble, 32 centimeters. Kezia.
21.3 centimeters.
That's incorrect. For bonus, the right answer is 12 centimeters. Next set, 10 seconds. Krobo girls. A group of cows were exposed to the animal form of smallpox, known as cowpox, and did not show small boils all over the body, which is the dramatic symptom of affected cows. Their resistance to the disease was provided by which type of immunity? Yes, Jemima?
Resistive immunity.
That's incorrect. For bonus. St. Margaret Mary. A baby receives antibodies from its mother that protect it from certain diseases. These antibodies are produced in the mother and passed to the baby through the umbilical cord. Which type of immunity is this? Yes, Abigail?
Artificial passive immunity. Or passive.
No. For bonus. I'm holding on. Holy child. In bone marrow transplantation, a bone marrow is transplanted from many cells from the immune system of one person into another person. What type of immunity will a transplant recipient be experiencing if he becomes resistant to a disease after transplantation? Yes, Akosia.
Innate immunity.
That's incorrect. Okay. So now, the description I gave you, the cows, that is active immunity. The description I gave you about the baby receiving antibodies from the parent, the mother through the umbilical cord, that's passive, not artificial. Passive immunity. And then the transplantation, that is active immunity. Last set of questions for the round, 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. The thermal conductivity of a type of glass is 1.00 watt per meter Kelvin. That's a preamble. Now, Krobo girls, find the heat current through a window of width 0.80 meters and height 0.0, no, let me try this again, of width 0.80 meter and height 0.30 meter with a glass panel of thickness 5 millimeters when the temperature in the room is 20 degrees Celsius and the temperature outside is 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, Jemima?
We have 4.8 kilojoules.
The right answer is 480 watts. St. Margaret Mary, with the same preamble, find the heat current through a window of width 0.80 meter and height 1.0 meter with a glass panel of thickness 5.0 millimeters when the temperature in the room is 20 degrees Celsius and the temperature outside is 30 degrees Celsius. Abigail?
400 watts.
That's incorrect. For bonus. The right answer is 1,600 watts. Last question, Holy Child School. With the same preamble, find the heat current through a window of width 0.80 meter and height 0.40 meter with a glass panel of thickness 4.0 millimeters when the temperature in the room is 20 degrees Celsius and the temperature outside is 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, Kezia?
6,400 watts.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. Yes, which of you, please? Harriet?
We have 800 watts.
You're right. And that's the end of the first round. At the end of the first round, St. Margaret Mary Senior High School has 10 points. Holy Child School has 11 points. Krobo Girls Senior High School has 15 points. We can do better. Let's work even harder. 4 more rounds. Round 2. This round is also known as the speed race. The questions in the round are directed to all 3 schools simultaneously. For an opportunity to answer a question, you must ring for it. May I hear your bell? St. Margaret Mary. Thank you. Yours, Krobo Girls. Thank you. And yours, Holy Child School. Thank you. If you ring and answer correctly on the first attempt, 3 points. On the second attempt, 2 points. On the third attempt, 1 point. If you attempt to answer a question and you are unable to do so, you lose a precious point. For questions requiring calculations, you have a maximum of 30 seconds to present your answer. If there are no calculations involved, you have 10 seconds to present that answer. Best wishes, everyone. First set of questions, 10 seconds. Why are liverworts and mosses described as amphibians of the plant world? Which of you? Yes, Akosia?
Liverworts and mosses are described as amphibians of the plant world because they require water or a watery medium for fertilization to occur. Thus, they survive mostly in moist environments, and they can also survive with, in fairly dry conditions or fairly dry environments.
I can't accept. Nobody wants this. All right, so listen. The liverworts and mosses, like amphibians, are only partially adapted to live on land. This is the part that was missing. Their bodies easily lose water. So they still rely on water. And then in addition to that, for sexual reproduction, which you mentioned. For the speed race question, it must be perfect. Next one. What is the most likely diet of an animal with sharp shearing incisors? Yes, which of you, please? Akosia?
Herbs or plants.
Okay. Next one. In the absence of selective reabsorption, what will happen to an individual? Which of you, please? Abigail?
The individual will lose essential nutrients such as proteins, such as proteins, glucose, since
I'm not accepting it. Oh. It's simply dehydration. They will become dehydrated. Dehydration. All right, next set. Calculate the moles of oxygen gas required for complete combustion of 2-octanone. 11.5. Next one, 30 seconds. Anhydrous magnesium chloride can be obtained by heating a mixture of powdered magnesium trioxocarbonate 4 and coke and passing chlorine over the heated mixture. State the fate of MgCO3 in the mixture before the reaction with Cl2 takes place. Please give a balanced equation for the formation of the magnesium chloride. The fate of the MgCO3 is that it decomposes to give MgO and CO2, and the balanced equation. MgO plus C plus Cl2 going to MgCl2 plus CO. Last set of questions. 30 seconds each. First one. Find an expression for dy dx given the implicit equation 3x squared plus 2xy minus 3y squared is equal to 18. Yes, Akosia.
dy dx is equal to negative into brackets 6x plus 2y all over 2x minus 6y, which is equal to negative 3x plus y, which is equal to negative into bracket 3x plus y.
I'm moving on. Yes. Which of you? Abigail.
dy dx is equal to 3x plus y divided by 3y plus x.
No. Yes, Jemima.
dy dx is equal to 3x plus y all over x minus 3y.
No. Okay, so the answer, and then you all figure out where your problems were. Negative of the expression 3x plus y all over the expression x minus 3y. Next one. Solve the quadratic inequality. 2x squared plus x minus 6 is less than 0. Which of you, please? Yes, Jemima.
Okay, we have negative 2 is less than x, less than 3 over 2.
Yes. Last question. Express the mixed fraction. 15, 5 over 8 raised to the power 2/3 as a rational number in simplest form. Yes. Which of you? Kezia.
We have 25 over 2, which is
That's
equal to
incorrect.
12.5.
Who rang next? Yes, go ahead.
25 over 4.
Yes. That's the end of round 2. After that highly strategic speed race, St. Margaret Mary Senior High School has 10 points. Holy Child School has 11 points. Krobo Girls Senior High School has 17 points. Round 3. This round has the problem of the day. The problem of the day is a single question to all 3 schools. From the time I ask you to begin, you have 3 minutes in which you can compose an answer to the problem of the day. The problem of the day is worth 10 points. Please put your pens down. Now let's turn over our sheets and read the problem of the day together. Problem of the day. The distances to perigee and apogee of an artificial satellite in low Earth orbit are 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters and 7.80 times 10 to the power 6 meters. Take the Earth mass to be big M, which is equal to 6.00 times 10 to the power 24 kilogram. 1. Estimate the maximum orbital speed of the satellite to 2 significant figures. 2. Determine the ellipticity of the orbit. And 3. Determine the semi-major axis of the orbit. Contestants, this is your problem of the day. You may now begin. The contestants have presented their answers. Before I award the points, let's look at the suggested solution from the consultants. This is a problem from physics. So we are told that we are given distances to perigee and apogee of an artificial satellite in low Earth orbit. So we know that for perigee we have 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters, and for apogee we have 7.80 times 10 to the power 6 meters. We are also given the Earth mass to be 6.00 times 10 to the power 24 kilogram. Contestants were to do 3 things. Let's take them one after the other. The first was to estimate the maximum orbital speed of the satellite to 2 significant figures. All right, so let's define some terms first. We have small m to be the mass of the satellite. The mass of the Earth mass, which was given to us, is big M. And then we have the distance to perigee. Let's call that R sub P, RP. And then the distance to apogee will be RA. Okay, so we are ready to go. So in order to estimate the maximum orbital speed, we need to do some analysis, and we recognize that the maximum orbital speed occurs at perigee. So this is the first observation. Maximum orbital speed occurs at perigee. So at perigee, we can calculate the centripetal force to be equal to the gravitational force. This gives us the mass of the satellite multiplied by the speed, v, the speed, let's call it v squared, over the distance to perigee, to be equal to the gravitational constant g multiplied by small m multiplied by big M all over rp squared. We simply reorganize this to make v the subject, because that's what we are looking for. So v is going to be equal to square root of g multiplied by big M, the Earth mass, divided by rp. Once we have this, we can substitute the values we know. So we have square root of 6.67 times 10 to the power negative 11 Newton meter squared per kilogram squared, multiplied by 6.0, multiplied by 10 to the power 24 kilogram, all over 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters. So this simplifies. I mean, if you look at it, it simplifies to square root of 60 times 10 to the power 6 meter squared, second squared. And so if we take the square root of this, we'll get 7.7 times 10 to the power 3 meter per second. This is to 2 significant figures, right? Yes. Okay, so the mark allocation for this. Recognizing the right relationship, that was worth 1 point. Doing all that calculation, substituting correctly and doing the calculations, 2 points. And then the final answer, 1 point, giving a total of 4 points for this first part. Next is to determine the ellipticity of the orbit. Orbit ellipticity is given by the distance to apogee minus the distance to perigee all over the expression distance to apogee plus distance to perigee. Once you have that, you can substitute because all the values have been given. So we have 7.80 times 10 to the power 6 meters minus 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters all over 7.80 times 10 to the power 6 meters plus 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters. If you do the calculation, you should arrive at 0.077 for the orbit ellipticity. Right relationship, 1 point. Calculation, 1 point. Final answer, 1 point, giving a total of 3 points for the second part. Finally, determine the semi-major axis of the orbit. The semi-major axis is given by the distance to apogee plus the distance to perigee all over 2. Values are given, so you substitute 7.8 times 10 to the power 6 meters plus 6.68 times 10 to the power 6 meters all over 2. And if you take your time and do the calculation, you should arrive at 7.24 times 10 to the power 6 meters. 1 point for knowing the relationship, 1 point for the calculation, and 1 point for the final answer, 3 points, giving a total of 10 points. This is the suggested solution from the consultants. Now, contestants. St. Margaret Mary, things started appearing, no explanation of any sort, and then I don't even understand where you are going. For the effort on humanitarian grounds, I'm giving you 1 out of 10. Krobo girls, your answer for the first one is incorrect. When it gets to the second one, that too is problematic. It's not the right relationship. So that's also wrong. But you were able to calculate the third one, the semi-major axis. That was a correct calculation. That was worth 3 points. And I gave St. Margaret Mary 1 humanitarian point. I'm adding it to you. That gives you a total of 4 out of 10. Holy Child School. You were unable to do the first one. Your relationship is not even right. You started substituting, didn't get far. That's not right. No points there. The second one, you knew the relationship for the ellipticity. You knew the relationship. That's worth 1 point. You substituted correctly. That is another point, but you couldn't arrive at the final answer. You didn't finish this problem. So you have 2 points for the second one. For the third one, the semi-major axis, yes, you were able to calculate for that, and that was worth 3 points, so you have the 3 points. That would have been 5, but I gave these others an extra point, so I'm adding the humanitarian point to you. That gives you 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Please pick up your notepads. Before we begin the 4th round, Holy Child School would like to effect a substitute. Kezia is leaving us. Kezia, it's been a pleasure. And Christabel Afuakwa is coming in. You are welcome, Christabel.
Thank you.
Now, round 4. In this round, I'm going to be presenting you with statements. When you receive a statement, please consider the statement very carefully and let me know whether it's true or false. If you are right, 2 points. If you are incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to respond, in which case that statement becomes available to the 2 other schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If right, 2 full points. If it's incorrect, there's a penalty, 1 point. Best wishes to all schools. I have a preamble for this first set of statements, after which I'm coming to you, St. Margaret Mary. Preamble. The implication, if P, then Q, is true whenever, that's the preamble. I hope you got it. No response means yes. So, St. Margaret Mary, P is true. Yes, Mark?
True.
No, that's a false statement. Holy Child, P is false and Q is true. Yes, Akosia?
True.
Yes. P is false and Q is false. Jemima?
True.
Yes. Using sodium hydroxide in the saponification of a vegetable oil will give hard soap. Abigail?
True.
Yes. The traditional soaps produced using ashes of plantain pods or cocoa husks are soft, mainly because the glycerin is not removed. Yes, Christabel?
False.
Yes. synthetic detergents and soaps have the same functional groups? Yes, Jemima?
False.
Yes. I have a preamble for all schools. Preamble. State whether the following statements are true or false about the Calvin cycle. Statements about the Calvin cycle. All right, so say Margaret Mary. It turns carbon dioxide from the air into carbon that living things can use to make sugars, proteins, nucleotides, and lipids. Yes, Abigail?
True.
Yes. It stores energy from sunlight into the long-term storage form of sugar, which can be used by plants or eaten by animals to form the basis for the food chain. Yes, Akosia?
True.
Yes. It removes carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, from the air. Jemima?
True.
Yes. The maximum potential energy and the maximum kinetic energy of a simple harmonic oscillator are equal. Which of you? Abigail?
False.
Oh dear. That's a true statement. The total mechanical energy of a simple harmonic oscillator equals the sum of its maximum potential energy and its maximum kinetic energy. Yes, Christabel?
False.
Yes. The average kinetic energy of a simple harmonic oscillator equals half the total energy of the oscillator. Jemima?
True.
Yes. A trapezium is a cyclic quadrilateral. Abigail?
False.
Yes. A parallelogram is a cyclic quadrilateral. Yes, Christabel?
True.
No, that's a false statement. A rectangle is a cyclic quadrilateral. Yes, Jemima?
False.
No, that's a true statement. Hard water and heavy water are the same. Abigail?
False.
Yes. Water in a hand-dug well, not too far from the sea, is found to contain mainly chloride ions as anions. This means the water will be soft. Yes, Akosia?
False.
Yes. Whereas slaked lime can be used to soften water of temporary hardness, it cannot be used for the same purpose for water of permanent hardness. Yes, Jemima?
False.
No, that's a true statement. The mammalian erythrocytes differ from the leukocytes at maturity because the erythrocytes are amoeboid and nucleated. Yes, Abigail?
False.
Yes. The mammalian erythrocytes differ from the leukocytes at maturity because the erythrocytes are amoeboid and enucleated. Yes, Christabel?
False.
Yes. The mammalian erythrocytes differ from the leukocytes at maturity because the erythrocytes are discoid and nucleated. Yes, Jemima?
False.
Yes. Last set of statements. Last set. The electric motor operates on the principle that an EMF is induced in a conductor in the presence of a changing magnetic field. Yes, Abigail?
True.
No, that's a false statement. The electric motor operates on the principle that electric current flows through a conductor when the conductor moves in a magnetic field. Christabel?
True.
No, that's a false statement. Last statement. The electric motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy and does so on the basis of the torque developed by the magnetic force on a current-carrying conductor. Jemima?
True.
Yes. That's the end of the fourth round. At the end of the fourth round, St. Margaret Mary Senior High School has 18 points. Holy Child School has 27 points. Krobo Girls Senior High School has 31 points. Fifth and final round. In this round, I'm going to be reading out clues. Your objective is to solve the riddle. For an opportunity to solve a riddle, you must ring for it. May I hear your bell? Say Margaret Mary. Thank you. Yours, Krobo Girls. Thank you. And yours, Holy Child School. If you solve the riddle on the first clue, 5 points. On the second clue, 4 points. On the third only clue thereafter, 3 points. There are 4 riddles in all. Best wishes, everyone. You have to look down below the horizontal to view me. I am always downcast and feeling depressed. I am an angle. Yes, Jemima?
Angle of depression.
Yes. They solved the riddle on the third clue, 3 points. Next one. In chemistry, I am the splitting of bonds in molecules. In cell biology, I am the act or state of splitting or dividing a cell, particularly during the telophase of animal cell division. In embryology, I am the repeated division of a fertilized ovum producing a cluster of cells. Yes, which of you? Abigail?
Cleavage.
You are right. I was reading the third clue when they solved the riddle. 3 points. Next one. I am a property of a collection of excited atoms. I represent a deviation from the usual energy distribution in a system in thermal equilibrium. Because of this, it has been suggested that I represent a state of negative absolute temperature. Yet, I am a hotter state than absolute zero. I am an essential condition for optical amplification. I am the state of excitation in which there are more atoms in a high energy state than in a low. Yes, Akosia?
Population inversion.
You are right. I was reading the last clue, 3 points. If you want to know what a catalyst is and what it does, I am a good candidate. I help to capture your... Yes, Christabel.
Enzyme.
No. I continue. I help to capture your product of bush burning and moisture from the atmosphere. Without me, there will not be any banku or fufu or bread on your table. Yes, Jemima?
Fermentation.
No. I have a porphyrin ring very similar to the one in a tissue in your body. A group 2 metal sits in the middle of my molecule. I am responsible for the green color of leaves. So who am I? Abigail.
Magnesium.
The right answer is chlorophyll, and that's the end of the 5th round. At the end of the contest, here are the final scores. St. Margaret Mary Senior High School has 21 points. Holy Child School has 30 points. Krobo Girls Senior High School has 34 points. As we are in the money zone, I have some announcements. The money zone is sponsored by GCB Bank. So this is what GCB Bank is going to do. St. Margaret Mary Senior High School is going to receive a total amount of 420 Ghana cedis for the 3 contestants and 1 teacher. Holy Child School is going to receive a total of 600 Ghana cedis for the 3 contestants and 1 teacher. Krobo Girls Senior High School is receiving a total amount of 680 Ghana cedis for the 3 contestants and 1 teacher. In addition to this, Bond Savings and Loans is donating an amount of 500 Ghana cedis to the winning team. Krobo Girls Senior High School, congratulations on winning the contest. Well done. Prepare, and I look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Viewers, thank you for joining us for this contest. We have 1 more quarter-final contest left. That contest will be featuring Accra Academy, Islamic Senior High School, and Prempeh College. Before we leave, I would like to acknowledge that the National Science and Math Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service through the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. We have support from GCB Bank, Accra College of Medicine, Medifair Multi-Specialist Hospital and Fertility Center, Lancaster University, Ghana, Academic City College, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, WACBIB, Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, MFA Jewelry, and Hoti Makeup. The mentorship sessions are sponsored by Bond Savings and Loans and RMG Ghana, and SciTech Fair 2018 was sponsored by Goyle Prudential Life Insurance Ghana and Tolo Ghana Limited. Our media sponsors are City FM and Joy News. This is a primetime production. Thank you once again for joining us for this contest, and see you next time. Bye.